From cellular crisis to the Dharma door of great compassion. Hello everyone and welcome. Today's special presentation is brought to you by the Buddhist Practice Association of Australia. The small things you think are fine are destroying your future. Have you noticed that while the pace of modern life is getting faster, our brains can't seem to keep up? Have you ever promised someone something only to forget it completely a moment later? Or perhaps you listen to a teacher in class, but the moment you close your book, your mind goes blank. Have you even left a pot boiling on the stove, only to realize it when you smell something burning because you were scrolling through your phone in the living room? Many people think this is just getting older or being tired lately and laugh it off. But today, I want to tell you a chilling truth. This isn't just simple forgetfulness, it is a cellular crisis occurring in the microscopic world. This crisis is eroding your memory and emotional control step by step, eventually leading you toward failure, loneliness, and even disaster. Today, we will dive deep into a core topic that starts with scientific research and ultimately sublimates into the Buddhist Dharma door of great compassion. We're going to talk about why that mouthful of refined white rice and that bottle of sugary cola are turning your body into a piece of pickled fruit. Memory decline, omen of failure and danger. We often say great men have short memories as a joke, but in reality, this is a massive misconception. In real life, memory decline signifies all-around failure. In career, a manager who can't remember the day's schedule or an employee who forgets the boss's instructions. If everyone in a company is in this dazed state, where does efficiency come from? In social life, a friend asks for help. You agree, and then you forget. Over time, your credibility goes bankrupt. Eventually, you become isolated not because of a bad personality, but because your brain failed you. In family life, you forget important tasks your partner asked of you. This isn't just a minor slip-up, it is the fuel for constant conflict. More tragically, there have been cases where parents forgot a child in the back of a car while going to work, leading to catastrophe. Or someone leaves the stove on and forgets, causing an explosion. These are not just random accidents, they are short circuits in the nervous system that have been under long-term assault. Pickled cells, you are turning yourself into a preserve. Why are we becoming so dazed? Why can't we control our emotions? Sometimes even developing violent tendencies. The answer lies on our dining tables. Recent studies from institutions like the University of Queensland and UNSO have found that a diet high in sugar, calories, and refined carbohydrates damages the body with terrifying speed. Damage in just 4 days. Do you think chronic diseases take decades to manifest? Think again, just for consecutive days of a high-sugar diet like the fried dumplings, fried chicken, and sugary drink consumed during the Lunar New Year is enough to push your body into a state of impairment. The weekend cheat meal, like many people eat clean from Monday to Friday but reward themselves with a binge on the weekend. Science tells us that the damage from this one-time binge is the same as eating poorly every day. Your repair system simply cannot keep up with the speed of destruction. The mitochondrial trash heap. Our cells need energy, which comes from the mitochondria. When you consume too much sugar, insulin resistance occurs, and the doors to your cells shut. Sugar cannot enter the cell, leaving the mitochondria to burn out in a vacuum. Meanwhile, the waste products inside the cell cannot be transported out. The result, your cells are filled with trash. This is why you are always exhausted, sleepy, and disinterested. Your endocrine, immune, and nervous systems, every single cell is struggling to survive the sugar assault. The pickled state. This is a vivid and cruel metaphor. A long-term high blood sugar state is like pickling your organs in syrup. Think of a piece of dried fruit. Does it still have the elasticity of fiber? Does it have the vitality of freshness? No, your cells are encased and invaded by sugar, losing their original function, while your body tries desperately to create new cells to replace the dead ones. As long as you keep eating sugar, the new cells are pickled the moment they are born. It is a race between life and death. At first, you create more than die. Then, it levels out. Finally, the speed of regeneration can no longer keep up with the speed of pickling, and the body enters total decay. This is why diabetes leads to blindness, foot ulcers, and kidney failure, because your entire body is being pickled to death. The truth about heredity. Don't pass karma to your children. Many people say, I have hereditary diabetes. But have you ever wondered if it is truly the gene's fault? In many cases, The parents' bodies were already erect due to poor diet before conception. The sperm and egg carry the information of that damage. So the child is born with inherent deficits. In many regions today, cola, white bread, and fried chips have become cheap or even free staples. People eat them every day in large quantities. This isn't enjoying life, this is manufacturing disease. Parents ruin themselves, and in doing so, they ruin their children. Starting with relieving suffering, what is the Dharma door of great compassion? At this point, you might ask, isn't this just medicine? What does it have to do with spiritual practice? This is our core point, the Dharma door of great compassion. Many have heard of Pure Land or Zen, but few have heard of the Dharma door of great compassion. The Upasaka Precept Sutra states, the cause of birth of the Bodhi mind is great compassion. Great compassion is the fundamental cause of becoming a Buddha. Without it, one cannot achieve all-encompassing wisdom. How do we practice great compassion? Is it just sitting at home wishing to save all beings? No, true great compassion is the practical act of relieving suffering. Bhikkhu. There are infinite kinds of suffering: birth, aging, sickness, death, separation from loved ones. We may not have the power to remove all suffering at once, but we can start with one point. That point is the global disaster of our time, diabetes and its complications. Precise relief of suffering. To practice great compassion, we must precisely understand the origin of suffering. We need to know exactly how diabetes starts, how it progresses, and why it leads to death. By mastering the laws of this disease, we can tell people the truth. Correcting false views. The 16 matters of great compassion mention that the suffering of sentient beings often stems from wrong views. They think eating refined flour and rice is scientific progress. They think binging on the weekend is fine. They think food can be eaten in unlimited quantities. These erroneous, inverted views are the root of their illness. When we make podcasts, submit articles, and share knowledge, we are essentially returning to right view. By correcting their false views, their illness can be treated. By turning back their inverted perceptions, their lives are safe. This is the tangible practice of the Dharma door of great compassion. Giving wisdom is self-achievement. In promoting this Dharma door, we will encounter difficulties. Some will say I lack the ability. Some will seek only profit. And some will even flee after hearing the truth, like the nutritionists or psychologists who are already in wheelchairs but still cannot control their appetites. But remember, you get what you give. If you give money, you get a financial return. But if you give wisdom and the way to health, you yourself will first attain wisdom and health. When you try to teach others how to grow in wisdom and stay away from disease, your own understanding matures before theirs even takes shape. We don't need to do something earth-shattering. Just focus on this one point. Practice it diligently. Generate the heart to relieve suffering, and do the work of relieving suffering, no matter how many years it takes. If you stick to this one point, you will become an expert in this field and may even receive guidance from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. When you truly achieve a level mind, the world becomes level. But until then, in the face of sentient beings drowning in the sea of suffering and sorrow, we must take up the sword of right view and cut through the mist for them. Conclusion. Will you be a new cell or a pickled preserve? As we conclude, I want everyone to re-examine their dining table and their vows. Every bite you eat determines whether your cells move toward life or death. Every thought you generate determines whether your soul moves toward liberation or sinking. The Dharma door of great compassion is not far away. It is in the advice you give your family, in the health knowledge you share, and in the awareness you bring to your own cravings. If you find this content inspiring, please share it with others. This is not just spreading knowledge, this is practicing the Dharma door of great compassion, relieving the suffering of others, and accumulating the provisions for your own Buddhahood. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.